gon' burn it all. Saying this, saying that, ready, go run. I'm on the block, got me up to orange. Gotta rhyme something with orange. Say that nothing rhymes with orange. Thinking I'll just work without orange. Suck it up, push it off, pick it up, here we go. Get back to that drawing board. Drop it off, scrub it off, take it down. Gotta go, get back to that drawing board. Pull it off, scrub it off, hurry now. Gotta go, not a lot left to go. Don't let them take it too slow. Gotta go, hey, why aren't you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, she'll push you to the count of 4. Then 5, 6, 7, she'll keep on counting up to 7. 8, not 10, not 87. Take it right back down to 7. Wait, ha, no time on a dime, and she's drawing a line. Girls, what is she made of? Sugar and spicing, none of them taste love. She's everything nice. I'm gonna tell you her name. What? I'm gonna tell you her name. What? I'm Sugar Ryan. Ryan, yeah. We love roses, colorful with pretty poison. All you'll taste is, can you guess what? We love roses. Caught you snooping, art is dripping, running and running around. You're running and running around until we're down. We all fall down. We all fall down. We all fall down. Ashes to ashes to ashes to ashes. Ashes to ashes to ashes to ashes. On the wall, the writing's on the wall, yo. She's off the wall, yo. This kid is off the wall, yo. Paint a picture, rip it up into a picture. Strange, straight from fiction. And this is what we start with. Paint, you can't win this war. You'll take these lessons lightly. Put down those sticks and swords. The pen is far more mighty. All the other workers on machines draw a blank to me. Now it's time to roll the die. Suck it up, push it off, pick it up, here we go. Get back to that drawing board. Drop it off, scrub it off, take it down. Gotta go, get back to that drawing board. Pull it off, scrub it off, hurry now. Gotta go, not a lot left to go. Don't let them take it too slow. Gotta go, hey, why aren't you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, she'll push you to the count of 4. Then 4, 3, 2, 1, she'll count back down again just for fun. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, she left out 6 plus 5 together. Then wait, now, no, run, no time on a dime, and she threw her own ride. Girls, what are we made of? Yeah, sugar and spicing, you know what they're made of. Not everything nice, and if you're asking her name, what? I'm gonna tell you her name. What? I'm Sugar Ryan. Ryan, pick the pieces up. Bring up roses, colorful with pretty poison. All you'll taste is, can you guess what? Bring up roses, conscious snooping, art is dripping, running and running around. Yo, running and running around till we're down. We all fall down, round and round and round. We all fall down, round and round and round. We all fall down, round and round. Ashes to ashes to ashes, ashes to ashes to dust.
In my thirst for battle, there I see out loud. How long can I stand to stay in pain? How could my forebearer howl? How much time will remain for me? They call this a city, but that's not what I see. We're locked in a cell with no key. Feel the walls are closing in. Foul in my vision, I'm robbed of decisions with nowhere to go. There's one thing I know. When I climb in the ring, we lock eyes, and that's when I realize that I'm free. This is me, this is who I was meant to be. Bare my claws, bare my fangs, my heart's racing. It's the thrill of the fight as I run and I howl at the moon. I know I've the strength to defeat any foe. I see there is nowhere that I cannot go. Face me, come prepared if you dare, but you'll never bring me down. In my thirst for battle, where I see it sets my heart to racing. In my thirst for battle, where I feel it sets my soul to blazing. Sweet tip that swear on your play. Everybody, you have to know your place. Everybody tells me who I am. Don't realize there's no one there to care. Held down by their own choices. It may be easy to drown them out. Why should I have to hide all that I am? Don't know the ending, I'll find out. Thousands of all those voices, they judge and they hate me, but they'll never break me. I'll never stop longing to be free. Searching for a place where I belong. They call this a city, but that's not what I see. We're locked in a cell with no key. Feel the walls are closing, clouding my vision. I'm robbed of decisions with nowhere to go. There's one thing I know. When I climb in the ring, we lock eyes, and that's when I realize that I'm free. This is me, this is who I was meant to be. Bare my claws, bare my fangs, my heart's racing. It's the thrill of the fight as I run and I howl at the moon. I know I've the strength to defeat any foe. I see there is nowhere that I cannot go. Face me, come prepared if you dare, but you'll never bring me down. I'm free. The beast has been unleashed. So come prepared if you dare. I'll bring all to bear. I swear to bring you down. Here on my throne sits a pretender, holding the hurt that I leave behind. They're on my own, though I won't surrender. Life won't play fair, why should I? Don't resist and turn the page. Those fireballs and hates that rage, crucified from those eyes. You're crazy to the core. Why should I buy the lies? Compromise and see the light. Unleash history, 'cause I am your king. Tonight is the night, a blood moon is rising. What's mine left to die? But I'm alright, yeah, the fight is tonight. The light that defines us, not planning to hide. I'm not afraid of dying. Hammerlock, cruel belief, crush the casket, set us free. Flying avalanche, guillotine, cobra clutch, hole put to sleep. And body drop, giant swing, showing the boss the fire in me. Cord catapult, shatter machine, suicide dive right out of the ring. You can't bring me down. From king
always play your part. Before it's over, I'll capture your heart. My wings are humming, honey, stay a little while. With just a pinch, you'll be delighted and beguiled. I'm not your baby doll, but I can make you smile. No nectar sweeter, sweetie, I'll drive you wild. My heart is pure as lace and lace with purest pride. My frills are wildflowers begging for your eyes. My lips are poison and waiting to collide. Come play with me, darling, you'll be surprised. This world is a weary place, humdrum Jerry Hive. In all its monotony, I'm buried alive. That's why I wanna outshine the stars in the sky. I wanna see my name painted in light. So when you love, I will do just anything. Oh, there's always something more. Yes, there's always something more. I'll be the face you see on magazines, sell out my concerts, enthralling the streets. I'll be your idol, your only one. But it's somehow not enough. It can never be enough. Look at me, look, I'll take your breath away. You'll pay the price if you deny me. My throne is here at the Arcadion. Cross me and that's your head. Oh, gods again, I really should have said, give me love forever just because. I'll be your queen bee, honey, be lovely, love, be your one and only champion. I'll be your full-time royal, worship me lovely again until the end. I'll be your queen bee, honey, be lovely, love, be adored by works near and far. I'll let you be my little drone, honey, so long as you never cross me. Oh, gods again, I really should have said, heed me well or you're as good as
Some say life is but a game. Life is but a game. Every day is one and the same. One and the same. The Arcadion awaits. It calls out my name. Calls out my name. This ain't fate. This is destiny. I'm going up to the top of the Arcadion. Oh, the Arcadion. Oh, the Arcadion. Gonna be a superstar. A superstar. A superstar. Oh, yeah. Gonna do it with a bang like electro. Bang like electro. Bang like electro. Gonna be a superstar. A superstar. Oh, a superstar. And I don't care who you are. Baby, can you see me now? Can you see me now? From a distance. I've been searching for a reason to live. And I've got this need to win. And I've got this need to sin. And it's never been a matter of if, just when you can do it too. Now let me hear you sing. I'm going up to the top of the Arcadion. Oh, the Arcadion. Oh, the Arcadion. Gonna be a superstar. A superstar. A superstar. Ooh, yeah. Gonna do it with a bang like electro. Bang like electro. Bang like electro. Gonna be a superstar. A superstar. A superstar. star.
Red-faced, caught red-handed, paint in hand, she paints the template. Blue skies, sky's the limit, limit breaking, got that green like green eye. She's a monster, silver bullet, silver lining, lines within the lines, within the lines, lines within the lines. Now make me color in. Stay strong with will torn, your stigma gon' burn it all. Saying this, saying that, ready go run. I'm on the block, got me up to orange. Gotta rhyme something with orange. Say that nothing rhymes with orange. Thinking I'll just work without orange. Suck it up, push it off, pick it up. Here we go, get back to that drawing board. Drop it off, scrub it off, take it down. Gotta go, get back to that drawing board. Pull it off, scrub it off, hurry now. Gotta go, not a lot left to go. Don't let them take it too slow. Gotta go, hey, why aren't you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. She'll push you to the count of 4. Then 5, 6, 7. She'll keep on counting up to 7. 8, not 10, not 87. Take it right back down to 7. Wait, ha, no time on a dime, and she's drawing a line. Girls, what is she made of? Sugar and spicing, huh? None of them taste love. She's everything nice. I'm gonna tell you her name. What? I'm gonna tell you her name. What? I'm Sugar Ryan. Ryan, yeah. We love roses, colorful with pretty poison. All you'll taste is, can you guess what? We love roses. Caught you snooping, art is dripping, running and running around. You're running and running around until we're down. We all fall down. We all fall down. We all fall down. Ashes to ashes, to ashes, to ashes. Ashes to ashes, to ashes, to ashes. On the wall, the writing's on the wall, yo. She's off the wall, yo. This kid is off the wall, yo. Paint a picture, rip it up into a picture. Strange, straight from fiction. And this is what we start with. Paint, you can't win this war. You'll take these lessons lightly. Put down those sticks and swords. The pen is far more mighty. All the other workers on machines draw a blank to me. Now it's time to roll the die. Suck it up, push it off, pick it up. Here we go, get back to that drawing board. Drop it off, scrub it off, take it down. Gotta go, get back to that drawing board. Pull it off, scrub it off, hurry now. Gotta go, not a lot left to go. Don't let them take it too slow. Gotta go, hey, why aren't you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. She'll push you to the count of 4. Then 4, 3, 2, 1. She'll count back down again just for fun. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. She left out 6 plus 5 together. Then wait, now, no, run. No time on a dime, and she threw her own ride. Girls, what are we made of? Yeah, sugar and spicing. You know what they're made of. Not everything nice. And if you ask
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lore Lines. This is episode 142, and today we are going to be talking about the Arcadion. And now we have part 2 up here. Don't worry, you didn't miss part 1. Part 1 was back in 7.0 when we talked about the first part of the Arcadion, so don't feel like you missed an episode last week. We did not have an episode last week. So we have Ayumi and Meowth here. Hello, both of you. And don't worry, both of you, you're not invisible. I am on the last week of using Prism because Fuji is broken for Prism. So I will be going back to OBS next week to get our little icons back.
I was going to say, I'm invisible.
We're
unless
all
that's
invisible. So that said, welcome. And what have we been up to? It's been a few weeks since we last had an episode. Meowth, what have you been up to?
I've been finishing, quote unquote, finishing. My project is going to, now I can say it's going to be released soon because I'm now in the formatting aspect of it. I finished all the prints, I finished the artistic things. I've got, of course, the English and Spanish text, the Spanish text because I can do it, and I got the Japanese text as well. So I just have to format, get it piece it together, then set subtitles, and I hope it will be released before the end of the month, but I'm not sure. Let's see how it goes. It's going to be kind of like a lore art project statement, and I wanted to get it before 7.3 because I kind of spotting where things are going, and I'm spotting also what the fan base may be arguing. I want to, in case it's correct, of course, always bearing that in mind, I want to be like, it was already there, so it's not like there's any retcon, there's any appeal to fan base, to audience. No, it was always it was all there already. So that's why one of the reasons I want to get it before 7.3.
Awesome. Ayumi, how have you been this week? What have you been up to?
For the last 2 weeks, I've been playing the greatest game ever made.
Yeah, so
besides Final Fantasy 14.
I assume you're talking about Expedition 33.
Yes, besides, there is, I'm sorry, but there's no way that any other game released this year, including Death Stranding or Ghost of Yotei or whatever else. I mean, I even go so far as to say even if GTA released this year, there is no way that any game is going to be greater than what I have played so far and seen. Well, I've completed Expedition 33, but there is no way they can reach the height and quality of this game. It is amazing, incredible.
Yeah,
Don't give me spoilers because maybe if I'm not broke in like a couple months, I will try to play it myself.
You absolutely should. It's actually cheaper than most games, which shocked me. I bought it and I went in completely blind, having no idea what I was getting myself into. I was not ready. I was not prepared, and it doesn't wait. It hits you immediately, and it hits you repeatedly and quickly.
Like Type Zero does.
No, more.
If Type Zero hits you with a hammer, Expedition 33 hits you with a truck.
Yeah.
Okay, that's promising.
Yeah, it's fantastic. There are. I'm not gonna say that. Okay. But no, it's a fantastic game. Very much enjoying it. I'm still in Act 1, so I don't know what else to come. But it's so polished. It's so good, and it's just fun to play. And the music is absolutely phenomenal.
It was created by a team of 30 devs. 2 of them ex-Ubisoft. The others were all just a bunch of random people found around the internet. The composer was found from random obscure... Yeah. Well, not even that. It was... He posted his stuff on SoundCloud, and then he was found and contacted on a random indie game forum, where he only spent at least 10 days there. So the game director liked his work enough that he was like, okay, I'll send a mail to him, see if he wants to. All right, grab him, go.
I mean, the good news is that now we have an amazing new video game composer who is out in the wild looking for work. So
and the writer, she was she was a publicist looking to do free voiceover work.
Oh wow.
And so he found her on Reddit, and she was hired to do voice acting. Then she ended up being the writer.
I can only imagine reaching out and being like, "Hey, you don't know me, but I I like what you did here, and do you want to write a game?"
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Like dream, one of my dreams. If I
A lot of people, and I say this a lot, and there's a lot of talk like this game shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. And in all honesty, it shouldn't exist. The means of which it was conceived, it shouldn't have happened, but it did.
I'm
and
so
it
glad.
does, and it's amazing.
I really hope that people, particularly Square, take note and realize that turn-based isn't dead. Like there is space for action elements within a turn-based framework, just like this game does. And I really hope they take note of that moving forward into the future, because like Final Fantasy 15 and 16 were great. But I felt like 16 in particular was kind of a chore to play after a while. And I'm not a huge fan of action games. I like turn-based. I crave the strategy element of turn-based instead of just mashing buttons as fast as I can.
honestly, I would prefer them to have kind of like the quote-unquote spin-off of Final Fantasy, and realize that these elements can be still used for Bravely Default.
I would say that E33 could easily be a Final Fantasy game had it been rebranded.
Yeah.
And it would have been one of the best Final Fantasy games.
It would have overtaken people's. So, I have been on forums where people have said that this is this generation's Final Fantasy VII.
I would not be surprised. Although 7, I feel like.
Yeah,
you know my opinions on 7. But
mine.
But Meowth, I will say this. Do you remember when I was playing through 13? We were playing through it on stream.
Yes.
And I said, wow, every fight feels like a boss fight.
Yes.
E33 is the same. It has this. I get that same feeling that I got from 13's combat.
Excellent. That's promising. Yeah, I will try to give it a try when I'm not as busy and I've got some money.
Yeah. Definitely worth it.
Anyways, we were talking Arcadion, I think.
Yeah, well, before that, I want to talk about...
We're doing some promo for the game.
Yeah, before that, I want to talk about, did anyone get their pre-orders in for the Magic the Gathering set?
No. Though
I don't play Magic, so...
Okay.
I like the illustrations. They're so interesting, and they're so...
That's literally why I'm buying them.
There are certain curious things in some of the cards, and the illustrations and quotes chosen for certain cards for 14, but it's something that I'm not going to be like, I'm going to be reading into it, but I'm not something that I think they're dropping hints, but at the same time I'm like, this may be a bit too bold.
Let's see. AC says, "You ready to get down?"
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm going to be rambling about the themes of each fight, because we usually tend to, as players, we tend to usually be focusing on the mechanics and not dying and all that stuff.
Well, there's
everything.
There are some really heavy and relevant themes in this tier of Arcadion.
Yes. Because every fight and every design and everything, it has its own narrative. So bringing up the themes, and this tier was quite loaded. So
I'm really interested to see if you picked up on the same theme and tie-in to the MSQ that I did on a particular fight here. So
okay.
Yeah. Anyway, first fight.
Anyways.
So the Arcadion. I loved this tier.
This tier was fun.
It was great.
A lot of fun. And I think M5 is probably my favorite raid fight in a really long time.
And right,
Dancing
Dancing
Green.
Green. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah. I absolutely loved it. Everything from the music and sound design to the mechanics of the fight. Like my first run through it, everybody died except the tank and a Reaper. And literally, they went from 30% to 0. It was amazing
Wow.
just to watch it. And after that, I knew the fight great. But it was just, it's so interesting to see a fight that you can just get through like that. And I haven't seen a fight designed like that since Naxxramas in Wrath.
Ooh,
I
that's
know.
great.
So
I
was just
actually
really
don't remember Naxxramas.
There
It's been
was a
like
fight.
10
Dare
minutes.
you?
Yeah. There was a fight very early on, and I forgot the name of the boss, but it was a dance fight. And
Right.
Hagen the Unclean.
yes, Hagen the Unclean, thank you. And I remember doing that fight. The whole party was dead except for me and the tank, and I was a holy paladin, and we literally did the dance for an hour until we beat the boss. And it
I
was
remember the
so
dance.
stupid and fun.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So I had to learn that on my warlock.
yeah.
That was a fun night because half the people in my raid were not getting it.
Let's see if AC says, if I'm honest, I think Dancing Green has those looks because they wanted him to play some tasty licks that match the music, and that's why his scarf is a frog tongue.
You sure it's not Greninja?
I knew you were going to bring up Greninja. It's so in there. But that fight was really great. Music wise, it was definitely disco from the 80s, basically. 78, 70,
Late
80s.
70s, yeah.
I wasn't born. I wasn't even born there. But
Yeah, so
not that, but-
I grew up as a kid, and everyone made fun of disco. And I go back and I'm listening to all this disco. I'm like, oh, this is really good. What is wrong with kids? But now I feel like I'm older and I can appreciate it more. But I think a lot of the thematic elements of Dancing Green is about how he's basically got this persona of a playboy party animal, and it's all a facade, and he really doesn't like it.
Yeah, it's playing a persona.
And
It's the theme. It's the theme of masks again.
so AC Gears and Arms says, does M5 sort of prove the Warrior of Light has canonical dance talent? We have
I mean,
known that
we can master, but we
So-
can be dancers.
so I don't think it's the proof of that, because I think that's already been proven in the Heavensward Alliance quests for the not the Vanu Vanu. What are the other ones?
It was
The Birdman.
Heavensward has the Vanu, the Nath, which are the beetles, and the Muggles, I think.
Yeah,
So,
so
the
it was-
Birdman are the Vanu.
Yeah, so it was during the Vanu Vanu tribe quests, we learn the dance and we defeat the other tribe of birds with this dance that they've been doing their entire lives, and we learned 15 minutes ago. So I think that canonically right there proved that we have the moves, as it were. Yeah, don't forget the backup frog dancers doing.
I
love that.
was smiling the whole time in that fight. I have to upload it. The whole tier I actually recorded.
Plus, a lot of his moves are based off of old. Well, the names are based off of old disco songs.
Yeah. Yep. And I
They
His name, in fact,
Baby,
Dancing Green,
burn.
Yep.
Dancing Queen.
Burn.
Yep. And I did appreciate all the Saturday Night Fever references in the fight visually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's interesting, by the way, because at least I mentioned it in it was the episode in MSQ that we were heading towards. I mean, you know, the intertwining narrative of the two parallels entwining narrative threads. Like we go from one expansion and then we get a detour and then we retake from two expansions before the same thread, right? That's a bot.
Meowth, get them.
There you go.
We have a bot. Yeah, thank you.
There you go. So
Boom,
I was
nuked.
So, so, so from Endwalker, we're not on Dawntrail. We came from Shadowbringers, and we're back to Shadowbringers actually, and now we're heading towards 8.0. It's going to return to. If they keep going, and they're actually pointing towards it in narrative threads, we're going to retake the thread from Endwalker, and all the things we've been having in themes are related to the night and moonrise and stuff. I'm going to bring this back again, but like the dance floor, and there's like these lines from Metem and Dancing Green, being like the night has reached the fever and at night, and then all the place is a dancing floor. You're being forced to dance. You're being forced to play a part. All of these things are going to be they're tying with the themes of MSQ, in fact, like with all the, like, for example, the simulant mentioning that we're all pawns in someone else's board, and exactly one of the mechanics of Dancing Green is a checker pattern, like the whole thing about having to move away from it's using the checkers.
Yes.
And you know me, and what is what I think, and I have a fight or flight reaction when it comes to checkers. But you know why. But
Did you have it when you when you saw the X squares?
The what squares?
The X squares. Instead of X flares, they're X squares.
Oh my god.
I mean, that triggered a different thing, because if you realize it's actually working like a maze, and mazes are another theme that is related to what's going on. So
Yeah, I would say.
so there are many things there.
I agree with you in that I feel like this fight is all about facades. Basically putting up a facade to be something that you're not. And
Yes.
I feel like Dancing Green and the Warrior of Light very much are the same in that respect. Whereas we have, like before the stream, we were talking about our last fight with Xenos, and I know not everyone has their Warrior of Light, being this bloodthirsty, power-hungry maniac looking for a place to die. But mine is. So people, laud the Warrior of Light as a hero, but they're basically putting on a facade based on, hey, I am doing this for this reason, but the effect is I'm called a hero because of it.
Yeah. But
Whereas
the
Dancing
Word of
Green
Light is not what the like, technically speaking, like the wall, the character. Let's separate between Warrior of Light and the wall, which because we're talking about different personas. So the wall became the Warrior of Light, or actually the title was forced onto them because they started as an adventurer. As an adventurer who just wanted to, explore, fight things,
Make
have
money.
a thrill, and eventually make money.
Yeah.
And eventually it became, in a sense, I will going to say plainly, it became a chore. It became the duty we have to pay. We're due to the people of the world and all that. And that's when Xenos is like, there's more to you than being everyone's weapon.
Yeah. And if you look back at how the Warrior of Light has been engaged throughout the expansions, they're very much the hammer of the Scions.
Yeah.
And they do use us as a tool. There's only maybe a handful of times where we make decisions for ourselves and go off on our own. The rest of the time, it's the Scions telling us what to do.
Yeah, there's no agency for the Warrior of Light, and this is something that in the Dark Knight quests it's brought up, and the Dark Knight quests are quite loaded. All the quests are loaded, but Dark Knight quest is the most one.
Yep.
But yeah, it was already said in Stormblood. And it was actually Ilber, the first one who actually pointed it out in Heavensward.
Yeah.
The whole thing about you not fighting for righteousness. The truth is that you fight for everyone who tells you to fight, and he was right. He's a bastard, it's sure, but he was right.
Absolutely right. So a couple of comments. Artica says, "Don't forget the Manderville relic weapons." Okay.
I mean, I didn't complete the relic weapons. I just ran, quote unquote, ran the Hildebrand quest line. It was really loaded, that one too.
AC here says, if it's not particularly a good dance, but it is a gentlemanly dance.
Speaking of.
Yep. And don't stop believing, of course. So, Ayumi, thoughts on Dancing Green?
I couldn't stop jamming to his music, first and foremost.
Right.
He has probably the best music of the tier.
Agreed. 100%.
Second, he has the least ill will towards us out of any of the fights we've had so far. He just wants to have a fun with us. He just wants to dance with us. He just wants us to have a great time instead of, I'm going to kill everyone you know and love.
Yeah. My retainers are completing their ventures on screen.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's a great point, is he just wants to have fun. And he is almost relieved after we tell him about soul necrosis, and he's like, "Oh, thank God, I don't have to keep up this facade anymore." It's like, yep. I can find something else to do. I don't have a backup.
It reminds me a lot of how the idol culture in Japan is.
Yeah,
because they are forced to put on a facade over there as well.
Which is funny you mentioned that, because we tell Honeybee Lovely the same thing, and she's basically the closest thing to an idol that we have right now in this game. And she's just like, okay, I quit.
Yeah, she's a B-tuber, so.
Yeah, B-tuber.
B-tuber. But it's very similar to AI Sphin in themes, because AI Sphin is actually quite designed to resemble an idol, and look what the whole theme about her is.
Got it. So Articus was talking about the relic Manderville weapons in regards to having to dance the Manderville dance in order to upgrade it as more proof that the Warrior of Light canonically is a good dancer. Got it.
But yeah, it's very the Arcadion in many aspects. Like previous tier was already there, but in many aspects the Warrior of Light, the themes of the wall and the facade of the Warrior of Light, because in the end we're fighting the Arcadion as, you know, this new start, this newcomer and all that. But the themes about the Arcadion are very similar to what is like awaiting us as the Warrior of Light. So yeah, the themes are in there, and it's about the awareness of having to wear the same persona of, in their case of the fighters, is the mask of their characters they play on the Arcadion, as, you know, let's say wrestling, like which has its own narrative and stuff, and it's the whole thing. But it applies to the Warrior of Light as well, like this whole situation of the Warrior of Light, like and being forced to keep up that front and how it wears you down. But yeah.
AC Gears and Arms brings up something interesting. The only real agency we have that I can think of by ourselves is in battle. We make unilateral decisions regarding fights, as is our right. But we don't decide what fights we get into, mostly.
No, we decide how to fight it, but we are pitted against these fights.
The only exception, I think, while the game doesn't give you an option to engage in it, we decide to engage Xenos at the end of Endwalker.
I mean, he earned it, so.
He did. But I would say that this Arcadion, more so than the other one, ties to MSQ thematically. a lot heavier. There's a lot of heavy-handedness in this.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. It's all about masks and facades and being something that you're not.
Like
And-
their character, like their ring names, it becomes a more personal throughout this tier.
Yeah.
It becomes a matter of the ring names, and then it becomes like poignant moments in which they reveal the real names, like
Right.
the person they are. And it's so similar to the convocation and their titles and the real names.
Yeah, it's your
I was-
crafted identity versus who you actually are.
Exactly.
Is I would say that's the theme of this tier of Arcadia.
Yes.
Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
I did like the live stream little segment with Honeybee Lovely. That was fun. She's like, I'm retiring. Everyone's like, what? Yeah, I don't need this job. I'm already rich. I just wanted everybody
Yeah.
to love me. Not because I'm lonely. I'm just a narcissist. So, do we have anything else to add about Dancing Green?
Mm. I don't think so.
Okay.
I have to go back and take notes on the colors used in the fight and all that, but I saw windmills on the background, but I'm still trying to. I'm still going my analysis work in that, so I'm not going to say much on it.
All right. So M6.
Did you know that the music is based on Parappa the Rappa?
No. But it makes sense.
Actually, I did. I'm not like very.
So this
up
is
to
Sugar
date
Riot.
with modern Sugar Riot,
Yeah.
and I want the lyrics of that song so much.
Yeah, one of them is like, can't find something that rhymes with orange.
Orange, yeah.
Think I'll just work without orange. Something like
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and that line is so loaded. I want the lyrics for many
that. You
other
think
things.
it's
but that
loaded? I
line,
think it's just
I
like
do think it's loaded. Yes.
you just can't rhyme with orange. That's all.
Yeah.
She's
Uh,
she's not Eminem.
I would remind you that in colors associations in the palette of, let's say, the palette of colors of the convocation, orange is awesome. So
So I will say a lot of people have done work to transcribe the lyrics, even though we don't have official lyrics out.
that's why I want the official.
I know, because they're never completely accurate. But there is some interesting stuff in there. So a lot of talk about bringing fiction to life, basically starting with something that's fictitious and making it real. Yeah, I know. Meowth is eating it up.
Are you okay,
It's-
Meow?
I'm okay in the sense of it just is falling into place. Everything just keeps falling into place. It's all about dynamism. That's exactly what dynamism does. It brings fiction and fantasy into quote unquote reality. It's how our aura site works.
I would say specifically it's how Aurosite works versus Dynamis, which is just emotions manipulating the real world.
But aura site works on that principle.
Yeah, blue skies, sky's the limit, limit breaking. Yeah, part of the lyrics.
Sky's the limit. See, it keeps falling into place.
Okay, calm down there.
But anyways, let's continue with the fight per se.
Yes. So this is probably the easiest fight, in my opinion, of the four.
I'd say the M5 is.
Yeah, I didn't die. I didn't die to this fight at all, even first time running it blind, which is why I said, in my opinion, this was the easiest fight of the four.
it is simple. It is simple enough if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But first run, it may really confuse you. Like I remember myself going in there, and suddenly the bombs have wings, and it's like, how? What the fuck does this mean? And I get away from it, and it jumped after me, and I was like, fuck. And then the most annoying part of that fight to me is the blooming cactuses.
Yes.
So for me, I was terrified of the angry sun from Mario 3.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Like, that was the first thing I saw, or I thought of when I saw it. AC says, I like Sugar right because I can relate as an artist. Also, graffiti art is one of the mediums that does require talent to use, like her. Yeah, graffiti art is not easy. Absolutely.
No. I mean, I am an artist as well, so I understand like the whole thing about layering, and I was like, if you saw the working files for my work, layers upon layers upon layers of lighting effects and stuff, and it's like, oh. War flashbacks.
So how would you say that this fight ties in thematically to the MSQ?
The layers, I actually would say, like because the main theme of Dawn Trail, aside from do not trust what you're told because it may well be a lie, aligning with that, it ties with the most resplendent surfaces have the most terrible depths. And in this case, Solution 9 is pretty much that. It's like this resplendent great city in the outside, and then the moment you start digging beneath the layers, it's absolutely horrifying. So, especially Living Memory, which actually follows even more that theme than Solution 9 per se. So it's also the thing. I mean, but then again, we know that Solution 9 has revisionist approach to history. We know that from the MSQ. It's so glossed over, but the moment the real Sphin tell us that it was Alexandria who actually started the war, when we're actually previously been sold that it had been others who attacked Alexandria in Point Zero. It's about replacing and relayering and molding reality the way you want it to be. Which right now it ties with that, but this is 14, and the narrative of 14 is the microcosm echoing the macrocosm, which is it's a
So no, sorry. It's just I'm thinking back to that, and it was basically a live omission saying, hey, Lindblom made this horrible bomb. Everybody was attacking each other. It was war. It was crazy. And just admitted that they started it. But it makes me think, yes, there is the parallel to Alexandria starting the war in 9. But do you think that on the shard Alexandria is from, that they are basically the equivalent of the Empire?
what?
I think Ayumi, you get it.
I mean, I lost.
So basically, the position the Empire filled on the Source, where they were invading other areas, taking everything over. Do you think Alexandria fit that role on their shard?
Considering there are a lot of Type 0 themes, and in this case, Alexandria would fit with Milites, yeah. But Garlemald is its own thing, because the truth about Garlemald is really biased, to be honest, from the Charlotte perspective and the info. In fact, the moment we start getting away from the Eorzean and the Charlotte perspective, and we go like in Stormblood, and the Shadowbringer's quest about Garlemald and all that, we realize that it's pretty much exaggerated on the sides of the enemies. Though Garlemald did go into a spiral of degeneration when Varys took the throne.
So
Of course, we fight. It's
I
a
don't
bit more
disagree, but
complex.
that's not what I'm asking.
I meant that I meant that it's more complex, but so far with the context we have, I do agree that yes, it would be the equivalent.
Okay, okay.
Keep it simple.
Oh, you mean what do you think?
I'd agree for the most part. I think it's the equivalent. I kind of see where you're going with this, so I have to. I guess I want to see more info before I can kind of make my final decision. But I want to agree for right now
Okay.
and say that yes. But I don't want to make like a final yes or no until I see more information given.
I'm
because
just pointing out
we know
irony.
too little. We know too little right now to kind of make any
Yeah.
assumptions. But we
Yeah.
can make some pretty good speculation as to what exactly their purpose is and what exactly they represent.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, because we made the same assumptions, remember, about them being from the 9th until it was confirmed, or for them being from the 12th until it was confirmed that they were from the 9th.
Right.
So
I'm just saying
They're still-
thematically on their shard. I'm not saying they
Thematically-
were the Empire.
Right.
But just that they fit
Yeah,
kind of that
equivalence.
same role. They started this war.
They fit the role, and they fit that stereotype. And who knows, there may be something else out there that fit it better. We don't know. We know little about the 9th other than it exists and that's where they're from.
Yep. So, I'm not saying about the 9th specifically, just specifically Alexandria. But basically
Right.
where I'm going with that is saying that, hey, we keep conquering the Empire over and over again. But they attacked first, so that makes it okay. So, do we have anything else to say about Sugar Riot before we get into the next fight? Because the next fight is probably the most interesting and relevant to the MSQ.
I would point out themes. I'm not going to go into color combinations of her attacks. That's my that's my room to take notes and keep it to be time things. The one thing I will bring up, because lyrics in Dontrell and themes are very much pointing towards that, is the face of the riverscape. The muddied waters with the storm. Muddied waters are an important theme, very much. And the fact that she uses in that sequence thunder and fire. Thunder and fire are the core themes, in quite underlined throughout Dontrell. Like, for example, Vanguard's theme, the music, it's called in Fulgur and Fire. It means in lightning and fire, for example. And in 13 context, lightning and fire, it's it's really, really important. And the whole line about destruction to facilitate deconstruction. That's a key line there. When she starts creating the storm to wipe away the tranquil riverscape. It's very symbolic. It can sound abstract, but the themes are really poignant. So keep it as themes, and yeah, that's my point in that. Themes to bear in mind: the storm and the flame.
Okay. So we know those two are more of the active aligned elements on the elemental wheel, lightning being the closest to darkness, fire right next to it, but instead of being actively aligned, more passively aligned.
It's actually the three more active elements, because a storm requires lightning, wind, and fire. So
yeah, but there is water in there, which is actually it's more light aligned as opposed to lightning, which is the most dark aligned element on the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes, but water has its own, like water and ice. Well, I mean, ice is a form of water, so it's like,
yeah, but it's in this instance it would be its own
yeah.
element, and I would say that ice would just have an in the context of 14, ice would just be very
In the
very
context,
intense cold and would just
in the
affect
con,
water by turning it to ice.
in the context of 14, you can understand ice as a combination of the properties of water and earth, which are the umbrella line.
Yeah, and I would, yeah, kind of, but I would say, and I'm it's on the tip of my tongue, and I've got it, but that ice, seeing as how it's the most light aligned element, would suck energy out. And if you relate energy to heat, because ethereal physics is just thermodynamics, if you
Yes.
take the heat out of water, it turns to ice, is basically how ice works.
Yes, and lightning, even though people tend to associate heat with fire, actually lightning burns hotter than fire. It's
Right.
just that we don't usually realize because lightning is so in the moment. It's like so instant.
Yeah.
But if you
Well,
maintain lightning electric energy, it's much hotter than fire.
oh yeah, lightning sparks fire, so that's I think that's a given.
So yeah.
But that's because it has the most amount of energy in it, and when you put a ton of energy into something more than it can handle, it lights on fire and combusts. That's a chemical reaction.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay, I like it. All right,
We should have
seven.
more episodes on the elemental wheel.
we could do that. We could talk about it ad nauseum. That's how Aeneas and I met. We talked about the elemental wheel and elements for like 2 or 3 hours at a convention. So, M7, Brute Bomber Part 2.
I am just glad that they finally got good rock music. I am just
want-
glad that they finally
I want those
used.
lyrics.
Well, you can ask Koji for them because he sung it, and also the screaming parts were done by Yoshi P, who was confirmed in an interview.
Amazing.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
Hey,
yeah, the
Pebbles.
heavy screaming
I
parts were done
want-
by Yoshi P. And like I said, I'm just glad that they finally like introduced like instruments such as blast beats and double bass, and guitar solos in their music because sorely needed. They were on the cusp in their songs about like alternative rock, but now they're just now Soken has added thrash metal to his repertoire, so I'm happy about that.
Soken is a chameleon. He can do anything.
Yeah.
He can tap into anything.
So I appreciated the song, loved it. The fight itself, that was interesting.
Yeah, I will say,
It was multi-layered,
Yeah.
and I'm using that term for Meowth, in that it moved from one to the next to the next. Because it had one phase where you were in one area, the next phase you were knocked to the next area, and then the final phase you were knocked below. So everyone had to be on top of their game.
So I will say the lead into the fight was probably my favorite. They did so much for the character of Brute Bomber in this.
Yes.
And they whereas he was just kind of a heel in the first one, he was just like a cartoon character. Here you see the human behind that. And he's actually, a good, kind person. The cats love him.
That usually means that you're.
That always means
Great.
you're a good person. If cats love you, you're a good person. There's no debate about that. If cats don't like you, I'm sorry. But it's revealed that his doping, quote unquote, the drinking of the banned substance in the first tier, is just an act. That there's nothing in it. It's just something he does as a stage presence. And again, coming back to that persona of putting on airs of something you're not. And here we see that Brute Bomber more than anyone else, is not who he is on stage. That's what
And
I
that
got out
is
of just the lead up, at least.
and that is so significant, not just to the MSQ of Dawntrail, but something more. However, aside from going into that, the most important part in there is, like you mentioned, is the heel persona. It's like, I mean, I think everyone knows enough wrestling terminology as to, it's like this sort of quote unquote villain that is fighting, usually is put there to serve as the enemy, quote unquote, of someone in the wrestling area that acts like the hero in a sense. It has its own narrative,
Yeah.
and it's like it brings up how Retara, Howling Blade, and him and Hector, Red Bomber, are actually best friends. So, and it's like the question of how the dashing hero can be so much friends with the revile heel, and that's a really interesting theme in there. As the situation, however, I believe they're saving that for the final tier because it wasn't said anything regarding. It was not revealed so far. We believe that Hector believed the president and was trying to challenge and was stealing the souls of all fighters to prevail over the warrior of light and all heinous. And actually, this, as per the script, which is a really really important theme later on, it was meant to vilify Hector, right?
Yeah.
I do believe, not going to state because there's always like this margin of error in which you have to eat crowd potentially, but I do believe that Hector did not distrust us when we told him about psychonecrosis and stuff. But what Hector did was confront the president, take the souls of others, so they would not feel, they would not be affected by that. Took them onto him to thwart the president and put on the final stage act to challenge the Warrior of Light and release all of those souls to save all of the rest, and especially release Retsara, who was his friend and wouldn't keep fighting. Would keep fighting because of their perceived allegiance to the president. And I believe this revelation is going to come in the third tier, that Hector actually was sacrificing himself, fully aware of what he was doing.
So I absolutely agree that he was fully aware of what he was doing and the consequences of it. We do learn that both he and what was the other one's name again?
Retsara?
Rotaro, yeah. Were raised by the president, essentially. And so they had a lot of trust in him, especially Hector, the brute bomber. But while I think that facade of being friends behind the scenes, but being the hero and the villain on stage, I think that's a good theme. I don't think it's the most important theme in this fight. I actually had to look up what a heel and a face was because I don't know anything about wrestling. So when you say everybody knows this terminology, I have no idea what it was. And I was like, why are they calling me a heel? Because of course I play it as an asshole, as I always do. But yeah, Rotaro called me a heel, and I was like, what? Why am I a foot? I understand it now, but yeah. So I think, to me, the most important aspect of this fight, thematically, would be Brute Bomber's not bravery, but the fact that he's not afraid to die. And that's part of the song lyrics, is that he's not afraid of dying, which puts him not only as the villain to the hero that everybody supports in Alexandria, but it sets him apart because in the MSQ, it's all about how
Everyone.
afraid people are of
They're
dying
okay.
in Alexandria. And here you have the villain who's not afraid of dying. And I feel like not only the president, but preservation saw that and said he has to go. We can't have them instilling that kind of sentiment into the population because that ruins everything we're trying to accomplish.
Everything falls into place.
Are you okay?
No, I'm. It's just that I'm.
She's
Not, I
never
don't
okay.
know. I'm just smirking and giggling like everything falls into place. But I'm not going to ramble you about it because we would be here a long time, and
You
you,
know-
would
you know what?
say,
Here-
as usual, that I'm seeing too much into things. We'll see about that.
Here's what we'll do for you. In a couple of weeks, we'll have a Meowth Goes Crazy episode, and you can just ramble about everything, the unholy file, all that stuff. And
No,
you just
no,
go,
we would need more than our
that's fine.
usual
I'll
1 hour and a half.
I'll bring the stream up, and I will literally leave. And I will go somewhere else, and you can just talk, and the stream will just run.
You know, we can do something. We can do something though. When I release my project,
Uh,
we can go over it because because my statement will be summarized in that.
Okay,
so
fair enough.
It will save me time.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But in terms of the fight, there's one particular mechanic that immediately brought my attention, which is the fact that he wields a blade and a club, a staff, and they're made of stone earth. There's a lot of themes about that, and the attack, and two things. The attack he uses when attacking with it is called stone ringers. It's a clear reference meant to make you think of Shadowbringers.
Oh yeah, 100%. Agreed.
And aside from that, because again, think blade and staff, and on that, when he attacks and the weapon glows, it's orange, golden, and violet, the colors of Shadowbringers. So there's more in there than just the fight, which is great. The themes on its own, the tier is great, but it's why I want the lyrics for this song. Especially because there's the first line, which I think it's correct when people transcribe it. Here on my throne sits a pretender.
Yeah.
That's Final Fantasy. That's Final Fantasy 15. That immediately brings you to Final Fantasy 13. Sorry, 15. It should be an immediate ringer to it.
Final Fantasy 50.
15. So yeah, that's why I want the lyrics for that so much. So yeah. And as an aside, I will say they really went for. I usually don't get emotional, but having the cat look at the dead body of Hector, that went for that was stabbed to the heart.
Oh, it was.
So yeah.
Cruz says, hello, ever had any thoughts about covering specifically Feral Souls in a video? I feel like most coverage regarding the Arcadian glosses over Feral Souls a decent amount in favor of the fighters. We can talk about Feral
I
Souls.
could work on that. I could
Yes.
work on that for a future episode and try to analyze which animal fits which character and things like that. I could take notes. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot there,
Sounds like a
especially
video.
with how they were hoarding Feral Souls basically for the military. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting things there. There's something that kind of got my attention when they were talking about it back in 7.0, which was saying that if they absorb enough Feral Souls, they begin to take on the appearance of the beast. And it made me wonder, after the Sundering, where the different races came from. Because we know that wasn't really a
Animals.
thing. And it makes me wonder if there was some kind of soul experimentation early on that caused that and caused different races to take on different attributes of different beasts.
I mean, yeah, it's a fair assumption or guessing regarding
pure speculation based
the
on
animal
that one.
traits.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but there's enough grounds considering the themes of the whole Arcadian and stuff. I thought the same, that there was that perhaps at the beginning or even before the ancient, let's imagine that the mortal races come from the previous evolution state from the ancients, and the Sundering reverted this evolution to the original mortal races.
Right.
It could be. I mean, at this point, it could be many things. I don't know. But we also have to bear in mind that soul manipulation is very much a taboo for the ancients, and the Asians don't indulge on soul manipulation. It's very much a taboo for them, unless they're corrupted, like maybe. But then I was going to point that, but Van Daniel doesn't count. He was a mole inside the Asians the whole time. So I was like, maybe no. And then I was like, no. Van Daniel joined the Asians to wreck them from inside. So thank you, Amon, for nothing.
For everything.
For everything, yeah. Exactly.
For everything, yeah.
So is there any there's still a lot I feel like to talk about the Brute Abominator. Is there anything else we want to dive into regarding him?
Not that I can go into,
It's
other than
interest-
his. Go ahead.
Another thing that's interesting is how his attacks sometimes are said to knock down the cameras.
Mm-hmm.
The cameras are a big theme in Solution 9. They're everywhere. They're looking everywhere. They're tracing and controlling everything. So the fact that sometimes the attacks knock the cameras off, it's interesting thematically speaking, because it really irks me going
It's
around
not
Solution 9 and
sometimes.
have the fucking camera follow me like. Argh.
It's not sometimes. It's the one time, because they have to send cameras down there. It destroyed them up top. The cameras crashed down, which is the mechanic where you have to run around clockwise or counterclockwise, and then move to the other side, and then move down.
It happens another time when he pulls off the first time the petrifying eye, and Meta mentions that even petrify the cameras in the arena. So it's kind of like twice. So, but yeah, it's mentioned that it happens, and I believe that to be important.
It happens right after that.
thematically.
That's the one time.
No. The first part of of petrifying the cameras is in the first arena. Then we move into the second, and then he caves down the second arena. So there's like two different instances.
Oh, wait. You're right. Yep, you're right. He does it twice. Yep, and once in the 1st one, once in the second one. Okay.
Mm.
So the fourth one.
Yes. Howling
Blade.
Yeah, Howling Blade. The surgical
man
extraction
who loves
of
kittens.
the wolf from the cat.
The man who loves kittens, and the man who we
No,
tempted to a fight based on our answer.
there's one thing I want to cover before we get into Howling Blade, which is our little adventure with Eutrope and Black Cat outside.
Oh yes, that one.
Yeah, where Eutrope's like, I'm going to attack you again, but I'm too weak to even beat my sister now. And so she gets her ass beat, and it is revealed that Howling Blade is her boyfriend, and she's doing all of this basically for him. Which I hated. But okay.
Why?
Because it takes away her agency.
Well, I mean, I consider.
I get that
Like,
she's. I get that they're trying to make her selfless, but it just makes her seem like she's doing it for him. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. It fails my Bechdel test.
I actually consider that it's more meaningful that you're doing something for someone you love. But this is just a difference of opinion that really doesn't
See, I
matter.
think it would have been better if she had been doing it for her sister. Being like, I'm already this far gone, but let me find a cure so that my sister doesn't have to go through what I'm going through.
I mean, in the end, it's going to apply to everyone. So
I know.
It's like love stories in my Final Fantasy.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's. I don't know. Like she came out like such a badass, and then I felt like, oh, I was just doing it because this guy, for a man.
But what's the
Not
problem
fooling
in
anyone.
that? She loves the guy. What's the problem? I don't understand. Maybe I'm a bit too. I don't know.
I don't know. It just seemed very cliched to me.
She's still trying to save her man. She's powerful.
She is powerful. She can be selfish. It's okay. I liked her being a selfish prick. I don't want her
Wow.
to be selfish.
So the truth is revealed.
But
So-
anyways, is this when we learn about the supposed Chekhov's gun, the thing that can cure psychonecrosis and all that? Is this when Nayuni mentions it? By the way, Nayuni is the actually only brain cell in
Yeah.
that family.
I believe so, but yeah, you're absolutely right. There's one brain cell in that whole family, and Uni has it.
So it's this when we learn about this. Was it the drop of life or something like? I actually it's like drop of life, and something like it can cure psychonecrosis, and they're like, why was this cure not mentioned if it can actually cure psychonecrosis? And I'm torn because in one thing I believe that it's a red herring, like a false lead to give hope because the whole conspiracy at hand. On the other hand, if it exists and it wasn't revealed to the fighters that or refused to be used with the fighters, I believe there's an intention to cause their deaths, transformation, whatever, through psychonecrosis, that it serves an end that we don't know what it is. And of course, the next time we're going to get insights into it is point 4. And again, as raid tiers are related to MSQ, that's going to be interesting. So yeah.
No, I absolutely agree. So, wolf extraction from the cat.
Fenrir.
Yeah, I initially had a hard time with this fight.
It
kept
is
dying.
difficult. It can be.
Once I got it, it was
There's
fine.
one
but yeah.
mechanic. There's one mechanic that I still haven't learned, and I just follow the party. But
Oh, is it the one where he separates into 4 and then does the
Yes,
half room
I
sleeves?
hate it.
Yeah.
That's mine too.
Ugh. Because the towers are easy because they're not as annoying as Hashmal's towers in Rabanasta.
You
But-
sure it's because
No.
you don't
That's
spend
where
a
most
lot of
people
time in
die.
the gold saucer?
The thing
Called
that
out.
most the thing that most strikes me from Howling Blade is again wind and earth themes. The familiars he summons, again, wind and earth. All of Dawntrail is wind and earth, wind and earth, wind and earth, earth and sky. All of it. Like, really, keeps happening. It's wind and earth. And then the themes we could go into, but not going to go in right now into that. Fenrir, Wolf, Moon. Again, night themes, moon themes, and Walker themes. We keep going back to there, back there. Howling Blade is in many, many, many aspects. If Dancing Ring was a representation of the Warrior of Light, or the wall being forced to wear a facade, Howling Blade is another representation of the wall as the Warrior of Light, like the dashing hero that just cannot stop fighting. That's like this way of living. And in that fight, what we actually do is kind of like we have to try to force him to stop. Because he was quite willing to die from psychonecrosis, because he felt like he owed that to Hector. So it's complicated, that one, and it's even more reinforced that his transformation. Honestly, I don't really see that much of a wolf in that transformation, because pretty much the G warrior.
Yeah, he's a gun.
Pretty much.
And he's got funnels.
It's pretty much the G warrior, which is the mech that. It's another thing that's interesting. It's the mech that the Garland Ironworks designed for the Warrior of Light, and with the Ironworks connection, it's another thing that's interesting for coming content. But so, and also another thing that struck me is that facially he resembles so much Sidurgu, the Dark Knight mentor. I didn't know what to, he facially resembles him. Maybe it's just me, but I was like, he looks like more like an aura guy than a Mikote.
Pebble says furry Gundam.
Furry Gundam. Yeah.
Yes, furry Gundam.
And I don't, and for Ayumi in this case, the preview of the quest, as they show like the arena, I was shaking my head so much, because the way the arena is designed, it's fucking Gearvegan. It's like this is Gearvegan. Like the glosserings, the platforms. They're in. Like I already said that the floating platforms around Everkeep were making me think of Gearvegan. This arena was like this is Final Fantasy 12.
Yeah, I could see that. It also reminded me vaguely of the Heaven of Lightning.
Kind of. I mean, matches as well.
I'm still bitter about Miss of the Realm.
I Myth of the Realm has a lot of deeper shit, not in the good sense of the 12 so kind, so benevolent. No. It's actually the things going on in Myth of the Realm are deeply concerning. But I, even despite that, I just can't bear with the Myths of the Realm, because of it was Myths of the Realm were one of the things that kind of pushed me away from Endwalker patches after 6.0, and the things that nearly made me quit, because it was so forced and deliberate. The attempt to force down your throat the devotion to Vana. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I hate when I realize that I'm being manipulated, if it makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely makes sense.
So it's like, it's one of the things that really rubbed me off the wrong way. But there's a lot in there, like you guys know that there's a lot in there. Hidden, by the way, but there's a lot. Yeah. So yeah. Towers. Yeah. More connections to Hashmal. Names of attacks, but I'm not going to go that deep into it. I could, but.
Yes.
And yeah, the connection between wind and earth again. And the themes, like the lines of Red Zara, of the Howling Blade and the Wolf. Mm-hmm. It was making me think so much of Xenos, like the Prey and all that. and it was so interesting because he kind of represents the Warrior of Light in thematically, but the fighting style and the themes are Xenos, basically. I do like toying with my prey, and it's like, am I? Are you back, Xenos?
Kind of reminded me of, oh God, who was it? Who said how unfortunate? I think it was him.
No, that was Calix.
You're right, it was Calix.
Still alive.
Yeah. never mind.
How unfortunate.
Yeah.
And you were like surprising Abrialis.
I was like, nah, Realis.
But yeah.
The Savage version has spoilers for those who
right.
haven't done it. Yeah. If you don't want to hear what it looks like, cover your ears now. 3, 2, 1. So what it looks like, it reminded me of Dark Gundam from G Gundam, with the upper part being kind of human-like and the lower part kind of detached and being more snake-like.
Oh, snake-like. Huh. Interesting.
Yes. Yeah. So it reminded me of that.
I heard people mention. I haven't seen the transition and all that. I should have. That while Eutrope in Savage, she was reminiscent of the Kraken and Merlith from the Four Fiends. That most people are going to associate with Final Fantasy IX because they're in there, but the Four Fiends actually come from Final Fantasy I, the Elemental Fiends.
Yes, they do.
And apparently Retsara is like if Eutrope was Merlith and Kraken, like fire and water. Apparently Retsara is Tiamat and Lich, which is the wind and the wind and earth fiends. So doing this on the surface, in a sense, allusion to Final Fantasy IX again, but actually being deeper than that, Final Fantasy I. It's kind of tying with one of my theories regarding the end of this story arc and things that are going on. But it's one thing that I wouldn't bet on. However, it makes me more curious as to what's going to be the final Savage tier of Arcadion. Because if we're going into, apparently, Final Fantasy IX, but it's actually deeper and it's Final Fantasy I, are we going to see Chaos, maybe? Like Final Fantasy 1?
Chaos.
Again.
Chaos. Are we going to see an
Only if
allusion
we
to
get
Chaos?
Jack Garland.
No, we're
with
gonna
it.
get Jack coming in.
The president is Jack Garland.
Oh my god. No, the president, I want the president to be Rufus Shinra, but being Jack Garland would be so much funnier.
Oh my god, the internet would erupt if it's Rufus.
I know. But it would be so perfect because the president seems conniving and manipulative enough, whereas Jack Garland just punches things.
Yes.
I don't give a fuck who you are.
I mean, Jack Garland is a legend.
He's
But,
something. He's something. I don't know what to call him, but he's something.
I expected to hate that game, and that game was hilarious.
It's a really good game. Go play it if you haven't. Not you, that I know that you played it, but it's great.
I hated what it did to Final Fantasy 1, but I loved that game.
And that's final notes regarding the whole Arcadian quest, if we can move on to that.
Yeah.
The kidnapping of Eutrope and Uni, and this is where it's important regarding
Keep
the
hearing
global...
you say my name. Whenever you say
What?
Uni.
Ah! Sorry. The script.
No, it's fine. It's. I know what you're talking about. It's just like just like one pronunciation off.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
But the script. This is the crucial thing that is tying directly with MSQ, in which Calix, though Calix is a puppet himself. Calix is just, in fact, his name not only is the root word for chalice, for cup, grail, but also it's the part of a flower that once the seeds have been, or the seeds are, the flower blooms, is actually discarded in. So Calix's name is already alluding that he's just disposable. He's just a tool. He's like the sibilant is making him look like the mastermind. He's not. But I think everyone should realize that at this point. But the reference is that we're all pawns in, at least in this context, Calix's way of setting things, right? The present script is tying directly with it. So we've got basically the themes of being dancers on a stage. Again, the themes of the stage, of a play, script of a play script. Someone is writing our story and wants us to behave the way they're writing that story. Like, it's speaking plainly, someone is dictating fate for us, plainly speaking. And we're supposed to follow that script written for us. These are themes from Final Fantasy 13. Like, there's no way around this.
Right.
And the themes there is like either either comply with this script, or Eutrope and Ayuno are going to pay the consequences. Like, they're right now hostages, which is, all things considered, is actually worrying in terms of parallels and microcosm. But still, like, the crucial point in that of this Arcadian tier to me is that concept, the script. And Hector defied the script.
Yep. So do we have any final thoughts? Because we're coming up on time here.
I don't really. I really enjoyed the tier. I can't wait for the next one so I can see what our president looks like.
Yes.
And that we can confirm that it's Ultima.
I don't think he's going to be Ultima, but he's going to reference Ultima, of course.
What do you think about the speculation that our announcer friend is the president?
The thing is that I've seen people mention that that because we technically hear the president in talking to us, we should recognize if his voice is Metem's, right? Because Metem was technically with us, and we should be able to recognize it. I'm not sure. I do think Metem is suspicious, but maybe it's just our predisposition to mistrust him. Right. And I think it may be deliberate on the developer's part to be like, look at this Lalafell who is so suspicious. You're going to be suspicious of him.
Why wouldn't you be suspicious of Lalafells anyways?
So I'm not sure about Metem, but then again, if it was him, changing your voice in when basically simulants can replicate you, like changing someone's voice to not make
replicants,
it shouldn't be that difficult.
Replicants, man, what a concept.
Yeah, but replicant, it just brings to near,
Yeah.
like by name.
That's where I'm going.
But I don't know. I mean, at this point, I'm 50-50 regarding Metem. I think he could be the president. I think he could not. Like, what would be amusing in a sense if the president never existed, and it's just,
oh my
imagine
God.
like a recording on or something like that.
Yeah, it's just a program.
Mm-hmm.
That would
like
be amazing.
you're not even. Like, there's not even a president, it's all a lie, and it's like, it's not even within your reach, and it's feeding and script for outside the reach of the Arcadian. I don't know. I just think it's so suspicious that we haven't really seen him, like in the flesh. And
Right.
I was thinking maybe it's because he's not someone in the flesh.
He could be an endless.
Could be,
Yeah.
or maybe it's just data from someone made an endless without a physical form, and it's just
I mean, that's what
memory
the endless
data
are, pretty
running.
much.
I mean, yeah, but the endless have a form, at least the way we interact with them. But imagine turning this into a literal Deus ex machina.
Right.
So,
All right. Well,
Deus ex machina in this case it would be Deus in machina. Like with imagine that the whole Arcadian tower is the president.
that's wow. That's a crazy thought. Yeah, I guess
Right
it could
now,
be
I know that you're-
what do they call it? I don't remember. The system, the terminal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could just be a big terminal. That's why it
It
has
has a
fans on it.
terminal.
Yep. All right. Well, that does it for this week's episode. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We will be back next week to talk about other things. We'll let you know.
Other things.
Yes, other things. Same time, same place. So we will see you then. Thank you, everybody, again for joining us.
Thank you.
See you later.
See ya.